Years ago.
Alright, well, it's only me about 2 minutes in the future. Yeah, it took that long for 16 different things to pop up. Well, anyways, guys, we are watching some more scary stories. This one's about night shifts.
Oh, I used to work at a gas station to pay the bills. I
Paying bills at a
sometimes
gas
worked
station?
third shift.
Word?
I hated the schedule as a long-term prospect, but I'm a bit of a night. I liked the
See what
quiet
I
of the
hear.
graveyard. A few weeks after starting one such job on second shift, the manager asked if I minded moving to swinging, working a couple of third shifts a week. I
Okay.
reluctantly agreed because third shift paid slightly more and because I had done it before at other stores.
That'd be different.
My first overnight shift came around a week later. The evening went according to
I'm
plan.
uploading.
I turned most of my attention to the usual cleaning duties. About 3 a.m., maybe a little later, I had just finished most of that stuff and was standing at the register drumming my fingers on the counter in silence. There was no traffic out on the highway, and I hadn't seen a customer in well over an hour. We were near an interstate exit, but in a
Probably hasn't seen customer because he's in the middle of nowhere. Probably won't find someone there for weeks. You call for help, you're done.
no traffic out on the highway, and I hadn't seen a customer in well over an hour.
There he goes.
We were near an interstate exit, but in a fairly rural area, so weekday nights in particular were quite slow. Suited me fine. Suddenly the phone rang, and in the stillness of everything, the harsh, piercing sound of it startled my heart out of my chest. I answered it.
Okay.
It was the store manager who was just waking up and wanting to call and check on me. She was
You know what probably poured out of his chest? Gasoline.
due in to relieve me at around 6 o'clock. I let her know all the chores were done, that everything was fine, and joked that she could come in a couple hours early and get me the hell out of there if she felt like it. After we hung up, I stood at the counter reading a book for a bit. This was before smartphones, and our store's PC didn't have a regular internet connection.
Or before
Business
the
only.
lights on my phone.
Something like 15 minutes later, the phone rang again.
I farted
Damn,
15 minutes
I
later.
thought.
Watch it happen.
Gas stations are normally quiet in the wee hours, and here I've had 2 calls inside of 30 minutes. I picked it up, half expecting the manager again.
Yes, it did.
Maybe she had come up with something else for me to clean.
Click
Or maybe
down
she was
all
going to
three
be
of
late
these
getting in
things
this morning.
out once before the thing went away.
Instead, I was greeted by a frantic, heavy breathing. Help!
Here's
A
the
voice said.
Wolfman.
It
Prepare
was
to
thick,
fart.
gargly, and over-exaggerated. Down at 225. They've shot me. In the background, I could hear distinct shouting, banging sounds, then the distinctive squeal of car tires racing off. Then nothing. The same silence on that end of the phone as on mine. Blood rushed to my head and tears filled my eyes. I realized that the number this fellow had given me was the ID number of the nearest store in our franchise, just down the highway from me. He had dialed my store presumably because it was the first on his speed dial panel, just as his store was first on ours. I immediately called 911 and reported the incident. I don't actually remember the call. Then I locked the door, put the rather unfriendly "will return shortly" sign in the window, and went to the bathroom and screamed. I very acutely remember doing that. A few minutes later, the county police showed up, followed by the manager. I had to speak with them and answer a few questions, and then again some days later. The poor clerk died that night. His killers were caught later that morning. One of them was a convicted burglar and a crack abuser. I don't know anything about the other one.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one
I continued
thing.
working thirds there without issue, but I never did
ain't
get
worth
used
the
to the
time.
phone ringing in the middle of the night.
Be like Call of Duty goes,
Thankfully, it
jump
rarely
right
did.
on to the top of the gas station.
The shooting
and
was
knocked
never
him.
again mentioned to me or by me while I worked there. A week after, a sign from corporate was posted near the register detailing new emergency procedures.
Is Neville here?
I was a corporal back in the Rock Army, equivalent of a private first class in the U.S.
Or is
Army,
that
back
over?
in 2013, and I had a night watch shift from 1 a.m. to 2:30-ish.
Yeah.
The guys from the previous shift woke me up to have me take.
Alright, well, guys. I'm gonna go upload it. I missed out on 4 days. It's gonna be tough. It's 8:04 now.